What's up, guys? It's your boy Jalen here on another episode of Elevated Minds, and today's episode is going to be called the Empaths Survival Guide. So this episode is going to be dedicated to this book that I read called the Empaths Survival Guide, and this is only going to really pertain to people who identify as an empath. So some people might really not know what an empath is. If you haven't seen my video already, I'm going to put that over there. It's going to be in the description box. It's going to be talking about how to know you're an empath and things like that, and how to deal with things that come with that. And so this book really resonated with me because I'm an empath, and I feel like I've really came across the fact that I'm an empath in the last 2 years. I've always kind of known, but I really started to understand what it was when I started dealing with people who are narcissists, because empaths attract narcissists on a regular. It's a normal thing because of the energy imbalances. Usually empaths, not all of them, but a lot of them, before they even understand what their special gifts and energies and powers are, they attract people that will try to take advantage of them in their kindness and their big hearts. So usually empaths have had some type of a trauma where they didn't have a need met, and they try to get the validation by giving and giving and giving. And then the narcissist may have not had missing that same type of love and things like that, but they find people that is going to give it to them. So the empath is searching, a lot of times are searching for people to, give them that validation. And then the narcissists, they'll take that adoration, the love, all that stuff that the empath is giving. And it's like something that kind of works for a while until the empath starts to realize what's going on. But that's not the only thing that happens when it comes to empaths. Empaths also have something where they absorb other people's energies. And so this book is really just talking about how important it is to understand, if you are an empath, how to deal with these different things. Because me, for one, I didn't realize, I'm very sensitive to yelling and screaming and arguing, and people that have really intense anger, I'm really sensitive to that. I'm really sensitive to people when they cry or they're feeling pain. I actually didn't realize that I pick up on people's pains, headaches and things like that. And my dad actually is a very strong empath. He has spiritual gifts, and one of his gifts is he'll be in church. He's a pastor, and so when he's sitting there in church, he'll get a random headache or like knee pain, and he'll call it out, and someone will come out from the audience and say, "Oh, it was me," and he'll pray for him, and then they'll get their healing. And so I believe that I've inherited the same gift. And so what I've done now is understand a lot of these emotions. You sometimes pick up emotions from other people, pains, all these different types of things. And for the longest time, I didn't even know how to deal with it. And when I started to understand it, I'm like, okay, now that I understand it, what do I do? And I started to understand boundaries are a huge thing, because empaths are givers, and sometimes they don't know how to stop giving to a fault. And that's a huge thing for empaths. So one thing you have to understand is setting boundaries is going to be the hugest thing, and they talked about this in the book. If you guys have not read this book, you need to grab it. It's by Judith something. I can't remember her last name, but it's called the Empath Survival Guide. Pick it up, or I listen to the audiobook, so you can do that for free on YouTube or whatever. So the rest of the chapters were really just talking about different things that you can do if there's people that are loved ones that are narcissists, or people that are energy drainers. They talk about energy vampires. They love to come and just take energy, that good energy, that sweet energy from empaths. And a lot of times it's not even that they realize they're doing it. A lot of times it's just that's been the dynamic for so long, and you've allowed it to happen. Now it's like, okay, now you have to teach people how to treat you. And so if there's someone that calls your phone and you're like, this is my mom, this is my really good friend, but all they do is complain and talk about this and this, and it just leaves me drained every time. You can talk to them, say, hey, I've got 5 minutes to talk, I've got 10 minutes to talk. I can talk for a little while, what's going on? And you listen to whatever it is, give them a solution if possible. Listen, just if they just need a listening ear, you listen to it. But the thing is, a lot of energy vampires, or a lot of people that will call you, will just try rehash it and just talk about the same thing over and over again. You have to learn how to cut them off, not cut them off, but cut them off while they're talking. And I say that by saying in the beginning, say, hey, I've got 10 minutes, I've got 5 minutes, I got this many minutes. And this is going to help you to alleviate some of that stress that's put on you because you're setting that boundary. Another thing is, it's like, how do you go into a crowd of people? And you know that some people have really bad sensory overload as empaths. Like, there's too much stimulation going on. There's empaths that are extroverts and there's empaths that are introverts. And when they're introverts, it's times 10. They have to really be on their own. They can't really be out in crowds a lot. They can't even hardly go to the grocery store. It's like you can't go to places where there's lots of people because you pick up on all these different spirits and all these different energies. And so it talked about one of the main things that you can do is picture yourself in an aura. Picture an aura around yourself and it's protected. And you say, I am protected in my aura. My aura is my own. Any outside auras that are coming, any negative energy that are trying to penetrate my aura, return to sender. You can say these little mantras and things like that, and it'll send that negative energy back to where it came from. It's not coming over here. And it was just talking about these different things that you can do, all these different scenarios, and it even talked about the different types of empaths. There's empaths that are one with the earth, that can feel when there's an earthquake happening, their body will shake. They can feel before it's about to have a heavy thunderstorm or rain or a hurricane, floods. A lot of people are in tune with nature. If you ever seen like movies, sometimes they'll be somewhere and say, oh, my left ear is twitching again, that means it's going to rain today. That's a real thing. People can actually be connected with the weather in nature. There's people that are what they call like dog whisperers, animal whisperers. These people are empaths that are connected really well with animals. This is a real thing. This isn't like some magic. It's actually a real thing. There's different types of empaths, like the physical ones that can pick up on people's, emotions and people's feelings and their pains and things like that. When you touch and hug people, sometimes you're actually absorbing their energies. There's different types. There's premonition empaths, ones that can see into the future. There's ones that have dreams and they can interpret their dreams and thrive in their dreams. There's all types of different types of empaths. And so once you learn what type of empath you are, it gives you different things that you can do in order to, separate yourself from everything else. I am me, I am different, I am this person, I'm wearing this, that person's wearing that. I have this type of energy and that person has that type of energy. I am me and they are them. It's really finding these little things that you can use to separate yourself and be inside of your own body and realize what emotions are yours and which ones are someone else's. And learning how to identify that. Be one with your body, be one with your mind and spirit. And you're going to see a lot of things change. This book is definitely a must read for empaths. And if you are a narcissist or you suspect you have some type of narcissistic tendencies, you should also read this book because you might be the person on the opposite end of what's going on in this book, the opposite end of an empath. And so obviously, usually narcissists don't go and get help or even suspect that they're a narcissist, but the specific book, the information is so rich in this book. I really recommend that everyone read this book. Again, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to read it again. So you guys know I'm reading probably 1 to 2, I'll say even sometimes 1 to 3 books a week because I got so much time while I'm driving doing DoorDash. So if you guys have spare time, I really encourage you, never stop learning, never stop, searching for knowledge and information, because this is the age of information, and what we need to be doing is learning and becoming better and ascending our minds as high as we possibly can. The more that you learn, the more valuable you are. The more valuable you are, the more value you can give, and the more value you can give, the more value that's going to come back to you. And so it's not just something that we should take lightly. If you guys have not read it, read this book, The Empaths Survival Guide. I hope I provided you guys with some value today. If this is your first time on the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on all my social medias. It's going to be in the description box. And really, if you guys have got any ideas or any book recommendations for me, I love to read, or if usually I do audiobooks, but if there's any book that you guys would recommend me to read, let me know and I will read it, and I'll do a book review on it and I'll post it and I'll shout you out. All right. Hope you guys are doing well. Stay safe. Stay elevated.